continuing with the sports theme here, this is a bit of a wild one, but I just thought I'd try it. So of course, the punchline is that, of course, we will get that grant. How can we possibly get that grant from that state? And in fact, the NIH people, they can be a bit tough. They don't sort of hold their views very much. And one guy in particular used the word screwball like 23 times, I think. which I took rather personally, but Josh being such a boxer, we took on the gym, and he said, no, this is great. This is like, we've done the first thing, we've done the hard thing, we've got it in there, we've like really put all our ideas. And it was great, we focused everything to an extent. And now it's like, now this is a teachable moment. Now we need to just follow it up and push on and make and prove that they were wrong. So there was this chap, this relatively young graduate student at the time. He was definitely a go-to guy, but a can-do guy, as you can see in this picture. So he took on this project, and just very briefly, the idea was that whether this learning that Albert was talking about, whether you could have differential learning, so two different learnings for different visual targets. So normally the way people think about the saccade adaptation is that this learning is that you're just trying to make up for like muscle weakness or some fatigue or something, so there's no reason to have more than one kind of game state in one go. Especially not for like something that's visual, right? Why would something, in this case a flashing target versus a stationary target, why would they have two different kind of outputs? So it was a kind of a wacky experiment, of course. But at the beginning of an experiment, it doesn't work, there's no difference. But gradually, very gradually, there was this differential change. And so just to explain this particular sports thing, actually, apart from the chocolate factor that Jonathan said, which we're trying to put in as many things to teach Joshua as possible, is that this was a really great project because the three of us, Josh, James and I, we were like, I'm not sure whether we would tag wrestling each other or the sort of potential inscrutable reviewer that we knew was waiting for us if we submitted it. So rather than just submitting it, we just went round and round in circles. Like, so at any one stage, like two of us would dance the account and be like, okay, let's just send it. And one person had the energy to come back in the ring and to have another go on. So we went round and round and we really refined it a lot. There was a paper that wouldn't have been nearly as good if any one of us had sort of flagged at one stage. And so this is another tradition in the Wallman lab, is that when you get to a nice paper or something, you have a bottle of champagne, obviously, and you put one of the figures from the key figure from the paper on the front of the bottle. And this is a new thing that I did. I put on the back of the bottle, I put the differences in red, the differences between the initial submission and the revised copy. As I was indicating, we'd spent like 3 or 4 months going round and round in circles, beating ourselves up to get it in pretty good shape, and the reviewers were all very positive, with a few minor things. Not good enough for Josh. Basically, this was all Josh. But okay, let's really perfect it. Let's fuss. But it was a very nice end product. And the other punchline to this is that Josh then wrote a very nice graph based on the back of this, and it got the most brilliant reviews I think I've ever seen from the grant. We've got 4 years major grants. It's very exciting. So that's why it's inscrutable to champagne. I'm running a bit late, so let me just give you a general feeling of why this is maybe important, because I think this is a bit weird and a bit esoteric, but the idea is that maybe you're learning to associate two different parameters. And this is rather reminiscent of, basically, Josh saw it as a general associative learning phenomenon. And so, in the 20th century, quite a lot of noise was made by Dr. Pavlov here. I don't know if he was training a dog or vice versa according to this cartoon, but, and certainly Skinner with his reinforcement of conditioning. So Josh was very excited about the idea that saccades can be shown to be a similar sort of have an associative learning element that maybe not only for dogs and rats per se, which you can just torture humans instead, but also the mechanisms that we're very well aware of in saccades could really advance both fields, both conditioning fields and saccade fields. So a couple more slides there. It's just this French guy here, they know how to do science. Again, you can see where he and Josh got on very well. And of his work, which of his recent work. And so one very last thing, Josh loved also, there are lots of pictures of Josh here, and he loved the idea of attention and the scale of attention. And if you just, so one idea was, well, maybe the sort of reward type effect, depending on that might affect also decisions and reaction times. So I want you to, I'm not sure if this is going to really work from where you are and everything. I want you to just pick a picture of Josh, this one, whichever one you want, and really pay attention to just that part of it. And also pay attention to how quickly your eyes react. You think you've noticed yourself following. So let's just look at that, and I'll go back and forth a few times. So get a feel for how quickly you're reacting to that movement. And then concentrate on the whole sort of JW, the whole big guy, and see if you can feel the difference in those sort of sense of, it might well not work at that distance, but so I'll move on, but just final sort of data slide is that actually this experiment we've done with Rich and everyone is that if you do something a little more controlled than a whole bunch of pictures of Josh, you get very much shorter reaction times when you're looking at small things than when you're looking at larger ones. As if we procrastinate more when we're viewing larger scales and put higher priorities to small scales. And incidentally, this is pretty much the biggest effect that's known on the issue. And this has led to another nice paper or two and another grant. It's just about to start on that. So in conclusion, I just really, the goal of this talk, apart from highlighting Josh's sense of humor, was to really let people know more of the recent stuff that he's not so famous, that he's not so well known for, because we focus probably a little bit too much on writing grants and papers, but these are the sorts of rich, let's say, the rich world of higher order thinking that he's been really excited. He was so excited about for the last few years, and he's made some really important inroads. So I'm just going to close by, Andre said earlier in the day that one of his sadnesses was that maybe there's nowhere, his old students aren't coming back, there's nowhere to come back to. Now, this is a slide, a web page that James set up last year, and unfortunately, we started a bit earlier, we'd have like a whole lot of the stuff that I talked about already time on, but definitely the Wallman family, which is here, I mean, it really would be wonderful if people could still keep some electronic bond, keep connected, and let everyone know how they're progressing and keeping that link to Josh. And finally, I dug up that inscrutable grant, and the one that never made it anywhere. And look at basically all these other works that we've been doing recently that have been funded, all come from, they were basically in that original grant. And there were a whole bunch of other potentially exciting nuggets of work. So I certainly appreciate why the guy found it inscrutable, because it's such a diverse, these are very different projects, very diverse, and so many ideas, so many pilot studies in there, and yet, and also he was, I think, before his time with this work, so it just came together. And so thank you very much for your attention.